So if you're looking for a Boulder neighborhood that is a lot like a historic postcard and a mountain retreat, Mapleton Hill may just be your perfect spot. I'm Michael with Lovato Properties, and we're diving into yet another of Boulder's awesome neighborhoods. This one, Mapleton Hill, is just a crowd favorite. And I'll tell you what, I'm here on West Pearl Street, steps away from one of these most iconic and beautiful neighborhoods that we have. We're gonna find out a lot about it. Come with me. So this neighborhood isn't massive. In fact, that's part of its charm. Some of these homes are legacy homes. They're in families for generations and generations. And the reason is because geographically, we're just very small. If we're orienting, I'm talking about Spruce Street all the way up to Mapleton. So Spruce, Pine, and then you've got High Street as well, and then Mapleton, Maxwell down to Dewey. Only a few blocks, but that neighborhood, very tight. It just doesn't turn over that often. So that keeps it very much in demand. But other things about this neighborhood that just make it super charming is the style of home. You have early century, turn of the century Victorian homes. You have craftsman style. You have amazing, big and welcoming front porches, a signature of many of the homes here. It's dubbed historic in a lot of the areas here on Mapleton Hill. So when you see those homes, they maintain that character of the past. You can't update it, you can't change the size of the windows, you can't do massive upgrades to the exterior. But you can certainly improve the inside, and that's why some of these homes are just showstoppers. Inside, absolutely modern and gorgeous, whereas outside still looking like it's from 1895. Other things that I'll just mention as I'm sitting here is kind of why the folks that are here love to be in this area. Well, guess what? If you want to jump out and walk down to Salt to have dinner, or over here to Spruce Confections to grab a coffee, you don't need the car. Truly walkable. And that's not just those two restaurants. You literally have hundreds of choices within close walking from Mapleton Hill. Now this may seem obvious because of its name, but not everyone realizes that Mapleton Hill is actually a hill. So leaving Pearl, you slope right up. And I mention that because a lot of these homes have sneaky and unknown, incredible views of the Flatirons. So if you're on High Street or any of these south-facing sides of Mapleton Hill, you could have from your upstairs, from downstairs, or your back porch, just beautiful views of the Flatirons. That's a sleeper. The other thing is 100-plus-year-old trees. Tons of beautiful trees, mature trees, lots of shade, and just gorgeous. In the fall, the trees falling, incredible. The trees don't fall, the leaves fall. But all of that beauty is because these are not new neighborhoods. They've been around for a long time, and you get to enjoy all that nature. So one of the coolest things about Mapleton Hill is the community. This isn't just a place where you have a house. You really live here. You get to know one another. The community is just awesome. When you're in this community, you get to enjoy things like Porch Fest, which is a totally awesome event that happens every fall, September usually. And because there's so many amazing and giant porches, Mapleton Hill residents utilize them. And they have face painters and music and art and just all kinds of fun gatherings. So that day in the fall where you just wander around, meet your neighbors. I mean, heck, you can come here from another neighborhood, but when you're here on Mapleton Hill, you just enjoy that vibe. People know you. They want to know you. You get to know one another. There's also a publication, Stroll Mapleton Hill. You can be featured. Your neighbors can be featured. It's kind of just a fun little magazine that covers the neighborhood. We'll also talk about some other things that are just super cool from this little launching pad. We talked about historic and beautiful homes, but what about the ease, like true ease of getting to some of Boulder's best trails? Well, guess what? You are going to love it. So I'm standing now in the nature that is super accessible to the Mapleton Hill neighborhood. If you come down to the end of Pearl or the end of Mapleton, you're gonna have access to one of my favorites, the Anemone Trail, but also Red Rocks here right behind me. So this is just a nice little bit of climbing, hills, hiking, beauty, the Red Rocks. As you get up a little higher, you can see all of the Boulder Valley. Really nice. Not as busy as Sanitas, which is the other hot ticket in Mapleton Hill. When you take Mapleton to the very end, just before it turns into Sunshine Canyon and goes up into the hills, you have the access to Sanitas. Mount Sanitas, one of Boulder's favorite hikes, favorite runs for those that can do it, and just favorite spots to picnic or hang out. You have a few different options to get to the tippy top of Mount Sanitas. A valley trail that's a little wider, a little bit easier, and then a ridge line that takes you up and really makes those buns work because you're taking deep steps. But that is just a taste of the access you have from Mapleton Hill. Really couldn't be any closer when you're living here. So another great perk, the nature, You know, Boulder has it pretty much everywhere, but in Mapleton Hill, you might have some of the best. So another nice perk is how quiet it is in this area. You're right in the heart of all the action, but it's not noisy. People don't drive through here. When you're on these side streets, they don't get you anywhere fast. So that helps keep these homes really at a premium. Well, since we're talking premium, let's talk about actually the difficulty of getting in here. First off, the general price point you're gonna see is quite high. So because of everything we've just discussed, inventory stays low, that keeps prices quite high, and you just got these opportunities to live in historic, beautiful homes, all the charm, all the community. People love it here. So I think if you're looking for something that does give you access to that, you should keep looking. If it's not on your radar, move on, because the price points you can be spending $2, $3, $4, $5, $10 million in this area for a fairly beautiful home. That's a lot of money. So who is Mapleton Hill right for? Well, that is the person that values that timeless character, the historic charm, and also who wants to be close to Pearl Street and all that action, but then also enjoys that peace, quiet, in a fairly large and nicely shaded lot. That's the ideal person. If that person is you and you're looking for a home in Mapleton Hill and you want more guidance, you want some help navigating this Boulder market, I'm Michael with Lovato Properties, and I would love to take you through this neighborhood or any of our great neighborhoods here in town. Please reach out and we'll take care of that.